shout out to him coming on here. The pride of John Muir, man, Pasadena, SoCal native. Love watching him play. Got to be around him a few times. Our main man, Ryan Hollins.
Yes,
joined the show. Ryan, what up, brother? How you doing?
What's up, fellas? How you been?
Man, I've been cool. You chilling?
Doing good, man. Doing good.
Man. Are you still in SoCal?
Nah, man. I'm in H-Town, man.
Okay.
The kids still in school, so you know how that is.
No doubt. Man, I appreciate you coming on, man. I can't thank you enough. UCLA Bruin pride, obviously. I'm a Bruin fan for my whole life, so being around all this basketball stuff. I want to jump right into it. I asked all the guests we give then that played college hoop at a major level in the NBA as well. What's your biggest takeaway, man, right now? What's going on in the and I go in all the smoke with Matt, your teammate, obviously, at Clippers and other places. And they got kids being recruited right now, obviously, from Gilbert Arenas to Matt Barnes, to everybody that has kids getting recruited during this crazy time that we're in. What's your biggest takeaway, man, with this NIL thing and the portal combination versus when we grew up playing, how it is now, as far as it seems like it's just about the biggest bag gets the best kid, huh?
I feel like the wool is over everybody's eyes right now. I think that the national media and everybody, we got to take a deep breath and sit back and look, because, as you said it, Coach, the biggest story right now that everybody's saying is these kids are transferring. It's the Wild West. They're getting what? They're getting too much money. That's the whole thing. They're getting too. Why are they making so much money? They're making still not the amount of money that they should be making, but this is years of free service that they've gotten, years of hustle. Coach, when you were young, or even maybe your parents' time before that, high school degree got you a good job, got you a good American living, as we say, right?
Yeah.
Then maybe when I was young, coming out, maybe a little around there, I would say it started to kind of shift where a college degree wasn't quite getting you a job right after college. Now, it don't do nothing for you. If you actually value the degree, it doesn't work. And for those who have either played a collegiate sport, worked there, been around some of these guys, ain't got nothing to do with school. They ain't come for school. School ain't there for them. Yep. School is there, bringing them there to watch them play football, basketball, whatever that sport may be, to bring revenue. And I challenge those also who, because you have some of the academic side, right? Hey, dog, you see that science building at UCLA? You see that big science? We built that.
Yeah.
And the mindset of where these funds go to, it's disgusting when you really get down to it. So I challenge people to really take a step back and point at, like, are we pointing at the right person? Like, look at that check that the president signed to himself the year prior. Look at the check of the TV deal. Look at the money. So when you complain about a backup quarterback getting $500,000, then transferring, and you know what, maybe I'm saying something. See, we know collegiate sports, right? Maybe I'm saying something wrong. Let me speak the language of somebody. You can die at 18 years old. You can die for your country at 18. You can smoke a cigarette. You can get drunk at 21, right? But you can't get paid to play a sport. All the people around you your coach is a professional. He makes more than some pro jobs. Your weight room, the weight coach is a professional. He makes more, especially at some of these programs than at a pro job. It's a better at college than pro job. But the kids were professionals. Come on, man. There's something that's been wrong with that for a very long time. And then what happens is they got to give you some hush money to get you there. So let's say they had to give you a meal, give you some, because these kids been getting paid for a long time. So now you're in a shady deal, and you got to stay because they got you, because you had to get your mama some money because you're the breadwinner at 17, 18 years old. You've been that since high school. You've been that. for a very long time. You know what I'm saying? Making men's meet because you take care of your younger siblings. So, guys, I can go on all day, but I think my challenge is to people to, when they talk about these kids getting money, before they complain, point at the right person. And you, if there was a job in Texas that paid you more money, hey, more money, you're going to Texas. If there was a job in Seattle that paid you more money, you're gonna go. Well, man, we have to fill the position next year. You know, Bob just got up and ran to Seattle to make double the money.
Yeah.
God, we have to fill the position next year. Man, get out of here, bro. You'll be out of there in the gym. You know, just stay at the company because it's the company way. What's the company gonna do for you and your family? You and as athletes, what we got? We got a 4-year window. God bless these kids playing out there for 7, 8 years. And in the game that I give back, if you got a kid, my young kid my son is coming up, reclassify your kid to younger. The reason I say this is because these kids ain't leaving, dog. And you getting the bag for 7 years, they're not leaving. So now what we're gonna see is invest in the junior colleges, reclassify your kid because you can do it for free. If you have an ego about it as parents, if you want to reclassify them up, go ahead and do it by all means, because some kids get so big, so developed, they can go when it's their right time, their right class. You can't reclassify them back down. But the ego comes involved when I say do the 7th or 8th grade over again. Why not? It's a no-brainer. I graduated at 17. You know what that did for me? Nothing. I came into UCLA. I graduated at 21. 2020 turned 21. Luke Bamonte was a freshman. He was my same age. But Luke was a freshman by NBA standards. Ryan was a senior. Bro, we're the same age. You know what I'm saying? So reclassify your kid. Imagine if I had one. Shout out Pasadena, by the way. Shout out Pasadena. Appreciate you, coach. I heard you. I did. If we win on Pasadena terms, came out of college, bro. Weighed in at 205 pounds, 6'11", 205 pounds. And I grew an inch in college, become 7 feet. So imagine if I had put on that 10, 15 pounds of muscle, grew an inch, and I was still a senior. Come on, bro.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have sat out. I wouldn't have had the red shirt. So now let your kids get 2 more years of maturation right now or else, because these kids ain't leaving. And if I'm a coach and now we got to win and I done paid $5-10 million for my quarterback, your son ain't playing, dog.
Right.
He better come in ready unless he's like that. So you better get your kid to have as much maturation as they can in high school, in middle school, you know, and if not, JUCO and prep. Because now JUCO's about to jump because now it's a much bigger feeder. And now if they're saying that they stick to it, that those JUCO years don't count, come on, bro. That's going to be the minor leagues.
What do you say? Because I agree. The issue is for me, like these cats transferring 4 times in 4 years in high school, though. So the philosophy, getting 4 philosophies from 4 different coaches or cultures or ideologies, whatever. I don't know if the kids that I see or speak to now are growing to the rate that you're discussing because of I'm transferring 4 times to get the big time D1 scholarship. And then I will go in. And then I redshirt like you just said we used to do. Now you don't want a redshirt. You want to play right away because you want to get the bag. So then what you do before you even play it down, you transfer already. Yeah. So now they're transferring again in college before they even play. I think the growth of this thing is dying. I don't think our kids are even allowed to get mature to your point because I think we're moving around too much. And the degree to point, I've been saying that for 5 years. Like the degree means nothing. It's a joke. And the computer labs and the math labs and everything else is built at every college in the country are built on football and basketball, March Madness and bowl games. BCS, you get $5-10 million just to go to a game. If you win the game, you're getting double that. So that all goes to the institution. People don't realize how that works. Then Title IX tied into that and all that. It's crazy right now. The degree means nothing, though, or they wouldn't have took the Pac-12 and eliminated it, right? Because UCLA going to play Rutgers every week makes 0 sense when you talk about academics. Miss me with that shit. There ain't no academics involved in this shit no more.
Which it's you're absolutely correct. It's a problem because these kids aren't mature, and we live in the age where they lack accountability. And when I speak to kids, the first thing I challenge them on, there's a number of things, but I say, guys, if I'm your age, look at it like this: the first one of you that has a work ethic, the first one of you that has discipline is going to make a lot of money because
Yeah.
there's so many of your partners, so many of your competition that is not disciplined, don't work hard, they not accountable, they don't look themselves in the mirror, none of that.
Leave when
The
it gets
first,
tough. Yeah.
Yeah.
oh man, the first one. But I would say right now, making sure that the family structure is intact, even if that sometimes, a coach, it's not mom and dad. Maybe there's a trainer, a
Mentor.
coach, like mentor, the
Yeah.
accountability is there. So even if I'm transferring, doing my same deal at another place because it is a business. Now, the days that we grew up in where, man, you had to sit as a freshman to mature behind the seniors and juniors, and you saw the way they did it. So when your number was called, you were ready. That's what we were used to. That's not being called. I never believe I never believe in quitting, but I believe in doing your due diligence and moving forward somewhere else. Did I quit? Did I walk away because I wasn't good enough? Or did I quit because the opportunity wasn't there?
Right.
Those are the
Right. Right.
questions that you ask yourself. Do I come in with a plan? Did I leave because coach yelled at me? Hold on, coach. I'm gonna say that you're gonna love this one. Did I leave because coach coached me?
Yeah.
Or did I leave because I wasn't good enough? Allow yourself to be coached. Let that inner circle be big. And the challenge I'm going to throw out, and I don't know, I want to see how you guys feel about this. I think that when it comes to an institution, for one, just like the workplace, offer more money, do a good job, know your value uh, as an organization. You're going to have to revalue your assets every year. And guys, would this be a good plan? Let's say, coach, you were coming in, you're like, man, how do I combat this? What if you were giving kids a 2-year deal? So let's say instead of just he making 10, the quarterback making 10 million again, let's say you say, hey man, I got 20 million for 2 years. Then we can reevaluate. Hey, we have a school option on you, or you have a player option to step in. This is gonna be these are pro contracts at the end of the day. So, coach, maybe you step in knowing you can align yourself and say, well, you guys want me to win a bowl game, raise this much money, and I got these guys for 2 years or 3 years. Or I'm gonna do it, we do handshake deals. Let's say you can only do 1 year deal. We do a handshake deal. I plan on getting you this. We're LA school. So hey, you're gonna have advertisements, you're gonna have deals on top of this. Versus I'm in Missouri somewhere, no disrespect to Missouri, or I'm in a place that's not as marketable,
Yep.
right? And no, I gotta pay a little more for those kids. Let's say, coach, you have a 2-year deal with your quarterback. You know for sure you got him for 2 years. So those things might help even out the field. Have a great environment, around your kids. Build something, So now when I come in, I can coach you up. I can coach you up a little different because of now I got a 2-year plan with my freshmen, or I got my guys, or maybe I found a diamond in the rough and he done signed a deal with me for 4 years, not knowing it. He's cold right now. You know what I'm saying? So,
Right.
maybe there's something that you can do. I'm taking you on potential. Shoot, some of these kids making 5 million on a team and they don't play. You know what I'm saying? But
Right.
I'm just throwing out if there's different ways in which, and I heard this thrown around too. Coach, I don't know if you guys heard this, that they might go to a system where they would be a club. So like it would be like a USC football club. They would be paid as employees, and then you can implement some of these other tasks. So I think they're still
Mm.
figuring it out as we go. And then you could find a guy, you could do certain things. And right now, your coaches are kind of stuck because it's like I can't take your money away. I can't penalize you if you're late. Like, well, what do I do? I'm not the
Right.
one paying you, the other
Collective or
entity is
whatever.
paying.
Yeah.
Yeah, the other entity is paying you, so you got your money. And I'm not voting for someone to take their money away. But I'd be damned if I was late. I won't go miss no money, coach. I was there 4 hours early. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like even
Right.
if I'm late, I'm not late. Like we knew that, and I think that's something we'd like to see implemented.
Let me
Now,
ask you.
now go ahead, JB.
Before you, I just want to ask you, what's your take on like the Nico coming from, big time California product, goes to Tennessee, gets up to $8 million is what the rumors were before he ever plays it down. If Ryan Hollins got $8 million to you alluded to earlier, just like going to Seattle or Dallas, if someone offered more money, $8 million, I'm coming. What is your take, though, on the other side of it now that you're a father, a coach, and all these other things? Like, you haven't played it down, though. Like, where's our protection, though, for a guy that leaves, let's be honest, a lower division in California, too. It wasn't Mater Dei and Bosco and John Muir playing Artesia and Dominguez back in the day in hoops. This is like a middle-of-the-pack high school you played at. You get $8 million to go to Tennessee, and your first game is fucking Alabama. Like, where's my protection as the coach? And then that kid now has left. After one year, he leaves. Now he's at UCLA, back home, obviously. But where's that protection at? Because what stops that kid from leaving with my money? And then I guess the reward versus the risk. I don't know if this is sustainable in college athletics, basketball, football, baseball, whatever. But I don't know how we fix that.
I think the contract idea, Ryan, which we have a guest, Steve Kim, comes on all the time. He's been talking about for years. The 2-year contract, the 3-year, the 1 year, I think that solves it. It's like, okay, we know for a fact we got Nico or whoever for this allotted time guaranteed. After that, we can discuss and see what makes sense for both sides.
But they still make more than the coach. See, the kids are still making more than the coach.
Oh, yeah.
And it's hard for me to.
Some of the kids,
Ryan,
though, let's be
get
clear.
Your ass down, Ryan, and motherfucker, I make more than you. Like that's the part that is going to be hard.
But let me
here's the difference, though, Smitty. Here's the only difference.
Yeah.
The coach that gets fired, my ass. I had a contract though too, and it's both ways. If I leave and take that job in Texas for more money, guess what I got to do? Pay money back to the college because I'm under a contract that says that. Right. These players ain't, dog. They're bouncing like they can do whatever the fuck they want. That's the problem we have right now. At least coaches are under contract. You can say they leave too for better jobs. We've been doing that forever. I get it. And Ed O'Bannon, obviously my high school teammate, is the reason for the NIL shit with the video game. But at the end of the day, I don't think he was intending to wanted this. Like now
Let me propose this, coach. All right, let's say I sign you to a 2-year deal or whatever, a 1-and-1 something, right? And you want to go, right? So the school should maybe, let's say you're on a 2-year deal, right? We can work it out. I have to buy you out that deal. I have to trade. Oh, trade might be wild. Like,
no,
maybe I'm the back low key. Let's say a trade if all parties agree. I don't think we should be moving kids if they don't agree. But what if I'm the backup at UCLA and I'm like, damn, what Nico doing coming here? But they're like, man, let's swap salaries. And let's say, not just because the university wants to go, the kid wants to go, but coach, what if like all parties agree? Boom.
It's happening right now. I'm telling you, it's going to happen. The trade thing is happening because the kid, so early grad, all right, let's say we want our kid early grad. You can get to the school but for spring ball, right, in January. You should be a high school senior. That's a whole nother show. But let's say you go to Texas A&M and you're a freshman. We just had it happen. A kid left early, graduated, went to Oregon, got to bowl practice for the playoffs, was practicing with Oregon, who was a playoff team this past playoff round in December, and didn't play a snap. He left before the bowl season was over and went to Cal. Like, this just happened. So a kid that just graduated early high school goes to practice at Oregon, don't play there, leaves before even the semester started, and goes to Cal. Like, what are we doing? Like, I don't think we could get anything. And then my second question to that is, let me ask you this, Ryan. Who is taking these kids, instead of worrying about their bag and their transferring, who is teaching them how to fucking invest in a Roth, IRA or any of that? They're only worried about, it's these street agents and these trainers that really don't have anything other than how much money can you get, and I get part of that money. It ain't really the old school coach like me, like caring for the kid and saying, hey, dog, let's invest this cheese. You're going to be broke in 3 years after the league. Like, if your ass don't get. So I don't know.
I got one for you, too. Let's make no mistake. It's candy for the baby. The work, and fellas, you know what the work is? The work is looking at these kids going, whoa, you got that? we don't gotta wait till you turn pro. They all, they had to sit back in the wings like he might have a shot. I'm gonna hang. He has a shot, and they know as intuitively as you do. And shoot, the parents might be worse than that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, hey, you got money, I need this, and they're blowing it. So here's things. You have to financially educate thoroughly, because what you don't want to be, and what's going to have to happen more, is the stories come out about the kids blowing their money, then they also don't go pro or never even had a shot to go pro, and they blow their money. So now as an institution, I have to combat it. So for the NBA, when guys go broke, the NBA, they really ever want to press the NBA, they say, yo, these dudes have to sit on 4 to 5 to 10 financial literacy courses a year. They come in and they get hazed to required financial literacy courses. So if then you choose to blow your money, you have been thoroughly educated. I also have an idea, guys, because of this. 401ks, retirement plans. Say, little brother, you're retiring at 21 to 23 years old. You're
Right.
technically retired, and maybe retired from the money you're getting. Because if you're getting $1 million to play those sports overseas, they don't pay that much money.
No.
Canada's giving you 200,000, right? 300,000 maybe to
Right.
play football. So maybe we put in, you got to invest and create 401ks. You got to put retirement plans there. You got to put insurance plans. So make no mistake, the financial advisors have been jumping at this for the last couple years, but it's something that those kids are going to have to look into. And let's say, coach, in recruiting the kids at UCLA per se, man, we got the best 401k in the country. We match you 140%, just like the NBA does. Or, hey, we get a retirement. How would you like your money? Do you want your 10 million next year? Well, let's stretch this until you're 30. So until you're 30, you're going to make 150,000 coming into your pocket every year.
Yeah.
Stretch it out. Hell, you better stretch my money out, big dog. Coach, come on, man. Coach, at 21, you might be rolling through that thing too. Hey, you rolling through that thing at 21,
100%.
22, right? At 18, for sure. For sure. But let's say I
Yeah.
stretch it out. Let's say we stretch it out to your 30. Let's say we pay it off to your 30. You know what I'm saying? Like we do something like that. Or here, we give you a chunk signing bonus. Boom. Bow. Here's a $2 million signing bonus. Pay off all your bills, whatever. And we stretch it to your 30. Something like that. So I'm thinking there's just creative ways we're gonna have to take care of our kids. And these are things we got to jump on. But it's the Wild West, coach. Would that make more sense? Or like I do want to touch back on the insurance part. Let's say I paid 10 million to a quarterback. He came in early the day before the thing, he bounces. For one, I got to ensure that we're doing our best to appease these kids. So when we go in, we have to speak their language. My brother-in-law just shot me, man. He's the D-line coach, Darron Reynolds, over at ASU. And like I'm up there, we just hang, we family, dog. We hang to do nothing with nothing. So I'm up there in the coach's office with him. And this is much different than when we were getting recruited. The coaches are walking around the office. One, they got everything. I see why ASU is winning a football now. Their facilities are phenomenal. Shout out ASU. Bro, they have everything under the sun. You walk out the training cafe, the field is there, all the stuff is there. All the coaches are walking around like this. They're walking around FaceTiming the kids. They're going, hey, talk to Johnny. Hey, coach, what are you doing? Ah, man, we in here just kicking it. Like, you got to speak the language of these kids.
Yeah.
Coach, I'll be damned if the coach was ever FaceTiming you talking about, man, what you doing? Nothing, man. Like, that's the language.
Chilling.
You got to give them photo shoots. You got to speak. And if you're not speaking the language, you're out. And sometimes for us, our vision of what a head coach looked like was a certain way. Like, like we grew up in an authoritative way, all those things. Those times have to change. But I do believe that the tough kids win. And when I bring you on, I got to do a psyche eval. I got to ask are you my type of kid? Do you fit my culture? Does your trash outweigh your treasure? Does your does the nonsense I got to deal with off the field with you match what happens on the field?
Right.
Because I'm gonna chase you around town if you're gonna win me some games. I'm gonna get you a babysitter. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm gonna make
Figure it out.
sure those resources are there. So the accountability is there more so from the university side to jump on that. But I agree, it is a problem. And here's the thing too, especially coach with the quarterback positions. I get it, it would drive you nuts. Your quarterback leaves, your season's dumped. You need to step in with a backup quarterback with a good insurance policy, invest in that. And then for two, well, damn, how do you think these kids feel when they get dumped by universities? How do you think our generation felt when we were getting paid and all of a sudden we weren't getting paid or the money wasn't there because you didn't have a good game? You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
And those are the things that were happening. What, you gonna go blow the whistle? No, you ain't doing that. Like you're just gonna have to transfer and be stuck. You stuck. Like so
Does it?
now, okay,
Yeah.
should I feel bad for the universities now that it's happening to them? Should
Now
I?
the problem is when you say you're grown though, and you come in demanding money in a recruiting meeting for your first time in the recruiting meeting, when I come to your house and visit, and you say how much money you got for me, and that's it. That it ain't nothing else. Then you're grown. And I gotta treat you that way. I gotta treat you as a grown man now. So guess what? Dog? Grown men you don't perform, you get cut. So that's
for sure.
That's why we've opened Pandora's box to where these kids don't want to face that music, and the parents can't face that music either. They want, but they don't want to do. That's the problem we have right now too. It's a double-edged sword. It's a fine line, man. It's like I don't know if we get this pace back in this tube. And I don't have the answer either, but like we have all these ideas, but at the end of the day, man.
Well, coach, here's the answer. The universities are going to challenge to do work now. See, you've always invested in young men.
Yeah.
We've seen it. You've invested in young men as a man. I'm going to help you build and grow, and I'm not going to quit on you. And one day you're going to come back to me and say, I appreciate the work you did. They have to invest in these kids now. They have to invest in the colleges now. The NBA has been a player-run league for a long time, and some people can't stand it. And I get it. We do some obnoxious stuff, but it's built around the players and Adam Silver and the teams and the coaches. And NBA players get coaches fired because they know if LeBron James stays on your roster, LeBron James is more valuable than the coach. Nikola Jokic ain't getting traded. Mike Malone, if you are not on the same page, and I don't know, I love Coach Mike Malone, I love Nikola Jokic, but if you're not on the same page with him, Mike, that extension ain't going to be there because we can keep this deal rolling without you, and that was just proved in the playoffs. So now the challenger says, we need more coaches that invest in these young men, that get on the same page, and that speak the same language. So you're going to see, Coach, more coaches and staff that hit it off with your job will be to hit it off with the players. And it hadn't had to be that before. And you're that type of guy that cares about those kids and can ride them. And guess what? Like, man, it's as simple as this, bro. Like, don't come yelling at me if you don't care about me.
Yeah.
If you can, my whole thing, right? Like, I never had a problem with coach yelling at me when I was getting minutes. Don't yell at me, I'm not getting no minutes, dog. You know I'm working. You know I want to be out there, right? Like if Coach rock with you, he scream at you, he cuss you out, he call you all kind of, but you know he really cares about you as a young man and say, I'm not tripping. I'm mad at him. I'm in my feelings, but like I know he has my back at the end of the day. You know, I know that. I can feel the love. I know those things. So the accountability is going to drive back towards the coaches where before, but like, oh, you can't play, you're out of here. Whatever. But I got a guy lined up right behind you. Bro, that's dead. That's for the birds now. Remember the man, you had dudes at Alabama, the third stringer goes league. He's like, man, I'm going to Texas Southern to go get the bag.
Chasing that bag. Nah, I love it, man.
Before we wrap up, I know you got some questions.
Yeah, but no, thank you so much, Ryan, for hopping on here. I want to transition real quick. Obviously, conference finals is going on. In the NBA, we got Pacers Knicks tonight. I'm from Indianapolis, so I'm rooting for the Pacers. And then obviously last night we saw game one, OKC and the Timberwolves. Timberwolves was in it all game. OKC closed out. But who do you like in both these series, and tell us why?
Oklahoma City. It's a bad matchup right now. Ant-Man, we love him. He plays on all heart. That boy gonna give it to you on both ends. It's an old school. It's a throwback style. He gonna talk his trash. He gonna try to back it up. He want the biggest dude in the room. He want LeBron. He want Durant. Like I'm on that. Like I'm on all that energy. So we love him. But you're not gonna out athletic. You're not gonna outwork Oklahoma City. They're extremely detailed and disciplined behind the scenes. Their scouting report is tough. They can play small. They can put Chet on Rudy Gobert. Rudy's not going to go post up Chet. So now we're all switchable 1 through 5, and they're the best team in the league at pressuring the basketball and helping and recovering, even though they are small. So Oklahoma City's going to win that. I'm extremely concerned from New York. I like the energy behind New York. I like the way I'm with it. But I've been telling people that we're going to knock off Cleveland. They did. The Indiana Pacers are not just Halliburton, not just the most disrespected star in the league. The Pacers are the most disrespected team in the NBA. Now, there are some moments during the season where defensively they're abysmal. It was a cakewalk to get to the rim. They didn't look like much. They look uninterested. They weren't playing well together. But this is one of the more battle-tested groups. It's Coach, you would love the Pacers. They're a throwback. There's nothing sexy. It's IQ. They got 3 point guards on. Name another team with 3 point guards on roster. They move the basketball. They play together. They'll make the kick ahead pass. They play fast. Miles Turner in that system is probably the best that you can find. He's a horizontal player, okay? He can press to the rim, he can pop back, shoot the 3, and he's big enough to where he can play and hold his ground as a shot blocker. He's one of the top shot blockers in the league. So I'm concerned for the Knicks. I don't think they get past. I don't think New York gets past Indy, man. And I think it's going to shock everybody. And then when you got a group of guys that are motivated, but make no mistake, bro.
You think Indy shocks everybody on the road again like they did in Cleveland tonight?
I think if they steal one of these games, the series is over. And they just need one. So when we go in on the road, right? We weren't tripping if we didn't get home court advantage. We just said we just need one. Now we got pressure. Now they getting tight. Now them boys get tight, and now you're not gonna rock out against us at our home court. That's just pride. So now we just defend home. So I can see them definitely getting one. Make no mistake, I love me some Brunson. Man, I love what their group can do. Paul Anthony Towns has an effect on the game, even if he's not scoring. He's going to take a lot of heat just because how talented he is, and you see what he brings to the table. So I do love that New York team, but they're going to have to play against a lot of ball movement. They're going to have to play against a lot of team basketball, And the thing about Rick is not gonna sit there and just let Brunson pick him apart, dog. He gonna trap Brunson. He gonna jump him. He gonna throw different defenders. He's gonna find that mismatch in what they do. So is New York talented enough? Absolutely. We just saw like before Tatum got hurt, we saw what they did to the Celtics. But ultimately, at the end of the day, man, low key. I like Indy, dog. I like Indy right now.
Trying to tell y'all, JB.
Hey, it's gonna be interesting to say the least, man. We'll see. Hey, as we get out of here, man, UCLA, what they got to do to get back in the mix here?
We gotta pay that bread, dog. Hey. So sorry. I'm just keeping it. Hey, these new kids different.
I know.
Coach, I'd have went to UCLA for free. Oh, I guess I kind of did, right? I really did, right? I really did, right? Okay, but these new kids don't care, bro. These new kids don't care about UCLA. They don't care about. They like, who is John Wooden?
They don't care about Westwood, LA.
Who is John Wooden? Is crazy.
No, they don't know. They don't even know Baron Davis. They don't know that.
They better know BD.
The young kid, bro. You gotta think the young kids. They weren't born. They weren't born, bro. You're thinking us. They weren't born.
That's crazy.
They weren't born. They might not even remember Warriors, Baron Davis.
Yeah, they probably don't, baby.
They're young. So it doesn't mean that like those 4 letters, we cried. I cried over them 4 letters, bro. Like you couldn't tell me nothing. And Coach Lorenzo Romar, God bless him, I was signed to St. Louis and he knew. When that call came from Lavin, he knew. He's out. Big fella's out. That was the one call Coach Romar didn't want to see. Coach, I know you've had some kids, and you know if that one call comes through, you're not even mad. You're like, he gone. I lost him. We were here. We were here. If you want to transfer, something else happens, I'm here with you. You need me one day. I call Roma on the phone. I talked to him more than I did to Howland, Lab, and any of those guys.
I used to kick it with Renzo up in Washington, man, when Sark was a head coach for football. So I knew him from UCLA days, and I was like, it's crazy. Ben Howland, you play for Ben, right?
Mm-hmm.
Give me a Ben Howland story. I got to know. I know he had a hard – any job at UCLA has to be one of the hardest, right, in all of sports because of John Wooden and 11 rings or now 12 and all that. But you guys had a great teams, made a lot of good runs and loaded rosters, a lot of NBA talent on those teams. What was Ben? How did Ben Howland keep you guys all together?
Man, here's the reality. We'll be a straight shooter with this. Ben came in, he did a hell of a job. It was a job for us to win. And he did something that rare. There's 1%. Right? You talking about 1%ers in the show earlier, Coach, that 1% actually do, and that's go 3 straight Final Fours. Unfortunately, at UCLA, they need 3 straight championships. They don't give a darn. They don't give a hoot about any of that. But shout out to Ben. He was disciplined. He taught me how to defend, how to be detailed. He was tight. And I think for Ben, he kind of lost grasp of what the new kids brought to the table. You could cuss out Ryan Hollins. He wasn't quitting, dog. You could cuss out Cedric Bozeman. We just going to figure out, pay our dues and get there. The new generation that he brought in, them kids felt entitled, and that's kind of what fell apart there. Now, funny Ben Howland's story. He was strict, right? Ben was tight, dog. He was tight. He wasn't going for no nonsense. He wasn't doing nothing. We're in San Diego. And we're getting to play in the tournament. When it came to like shoot-arounds, Coach didn't play. He was more anal than anybody. If the janitor walked through and shoot-around was going on, Coach, he'd be way up in the thing. Who is that? Get him out of here. We got shoot. He calling the, hey, who is this? I mean, the kid, anybody. He ain't, shoot-arounds are sacred, right? So that was the deal. No nonsense for nobody. I mean, we stop everything. Who did you don't watch our? You know what I'm saying? So we're in San Diego, and we're at San Diego State, and we're going through the deal before the tournament, right? I think we had we had Alabama, right? They got some dogs, right? And we're going through shoot around, and he looks up, way up at San Diego State. You know how to do basketball, just really tall. And he's looking up, and he see this figure out there. He goes, "Who's that?" And he said, Chris Carlson, right? Chris Carlson is the assistant, right? And he said, Chris, who's that? Who's this up there? And then Chris is like, well, Coach, I don't know. I'm not sure, blah, blah, blah. We hadn't started yet, but like, Ben, my cheesemo, like Ben is going through it. So he walks up, he gets a little closer. Who the blank is that? He going up there. Hey, who are you? Hey, what are you doing up there? And the dudes just look at him like this, and he's not moving. So Ben's, who the F does he think he is? So coach walks over. Now he's getting pissed because he's looking at guys not moving. He goes all the way to the corner of the court. Starts cussing the thing out. Who the F do you think you are? Blah, blah, blah. Get in the F out of here. Chris, get up there. Da, da, da. And the thing's not moving, dog. It's a statue. It's a statue. It's a statue.
Motherfucker had OCD on nobody.
Ben is cussing out the statue, dog. And it was like a cleaning service or something. And the statue's stuck like this. And it's, it's about 6 feet tall, whatever. And it's just a guy sitting like this. The mannequin, the paper, it's a paper cutout. It wasn't even a mannequin, it was a paper. And Ben's going great, but it was like, all the way up there. And Coach, it's a cutout, Coach. It wasn't a real person. But he's just looking at me, Coach. Hey, he was fine.
That's what JB would do right there. Just get mad.
That's what he likes. So hey, JB was like,
the real one.
Hey, walk through is sacred. You know that.
Hey, walk through was the most fucking important thing.
I know y'all started cracking up, Ron, after that. I know y'all was cracking up.
Oh,
hey, Brian, man. No doubt. Hey, man, I can't thank you enough, dog. I appreciate you hopping on here with us, man. Hope everything's well out there with you, and hopefully you get back to LA. We'll see you. You go to the Pump Brothers thing ever?
Man, if I'm out, I definitely roll through. Shoot, they got any spot in LA, any hot popping spot. You hit the pumps, you know where stuff is. But JB, keep it up, brother.
No doubt.
I'm a throwback guy. I'm a worker. I'm an old school. I'm blessed. I wasn't supposed to be here. I paid my way. I paid my dues.
No doubt.
I love the integrity of the game, the love of the game, the hard work. You can't sacrifice it. We put in a lot of work to be in this position, man. I know you fellas feel the same way, and
Yeah.
the integrity of the sport, the game, and all these things. Hopefully, we can get back to it, and these kids can get paid. And shoot, you even look in the NBA. We went to a throwback type of year, man. These dudes fighting and battling and elbowing, and we wasn't soft this year. The NBA basketball is back. So anytime you fellas need me, man, I'm down, man. And keep it up, coach. You know it.
Appreciate it. No doubt, brother. I appreciate it. Be safe, man.
Yes,
Talk
sir.
to you.
Appreciate you guys.
Ryan Hollins, man. You